Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Online Journal Day 379, Worry and Wonder. So, I'm just going to give folks a little update on things. People seem to be very interested in the auxiliary people in my life. I'd like to say, I tend to update and talk about what is on my mind at the time. People have wanted updates on all the people in my life, and honestly that was never my intention. I simply just talk about what's eating me or bothering me the most at the time. I came to Reddit originally because I wanted advice. I had listened to all these videos on YouTube, and when I thought my wife was cheating, I was hoping to God I was wrong. Everything I'd ever seen on Reddit videos said that my life was ending, my wife was a horrible monster, and the darkest days of my existence were coming. I originally wrote it in the vague hopes that I was somehow wrong. My wife was, however, cheating. Despite the technicalities involved. Despite the fact that she never had an emotional affair with anyone or got physical with anyone that I would actually be insulted or upset about. Which, admittedly, is ironic, as some of you say, she still cheated. Infidelity isn't just the acts. It's the betrayal and deception. It's the clandestine actions you take that betray the trust of your spouse for your own gratification. If I found out that Amy and Mimi were ducking each other behind my back for pure pleasure, I probably would be a little insulted. One, for not being included, as that was something that happened early in our relationship. But the fact that it was behind my back. Because of our sexual history with Mimi, I've never been too mad about that. And because there is no idea that Mimi and Amy are having a relationship that replaces me, supplants me, or is done to or in knowledge of disrespecting me, I've never seen Mimi as a proper AP. Though she is technically the AP in the situation. If you don't know the intricate ins and outs of the dynamic or why Mimi isn't hated, I don't wanna get into that. Just know that Mimi is not blameless, but also not responsible. Most of her involvement in the situation is reasonable, and she had a reasonable belief that nothing that was happening was wrong in the beginning. So I'm going to update you on things one by one. With a little blurb, and hopefully can be satisfied. Mimi and Buff Doug. I'm still friends with these people. Buff Doug has been a better friend than I thought, and Mimi has been good too. Mimi and Amy are best friends, and they still talk all the time, and Amy still shares shit with Mimi that I should probably know about. From back when I still monitored their communications, via other Doug more constantly, to the time from time I do it now. Sorry if you think I'm just going to give up looking into my wife's shit after only a year, you're sadly mistaken, but I only check maybe once every other month, or if other Doug contacts me saying there's something I should see. He has his thing set up to comb for keywords and stuff, so he doesn't read stuff every day like that. So there's a chance we can miss stuff. But when we get pinged, we do skim things. But I'm not religiously looking into Amy's texts, Discords, and Facebook stuff like I used to, and no, she still has no idea we have access. With that said, Mimi has been an advocate. She has continued to be a solid friend to Amy while not letting her shirk off any responsibilities. The two had a rough patch where I could tell Mimi was still pissed about being lied to and having been complicit in Amy's actions. I don't think Amy noticed though, but the fact that Amy lied to her and said she had my permission and all popped up several times passive-aggressively, so I thinks he's still holding a grudge. But that hasn't stopped her from being a full-ass friend, so yeah, I know many people think I should hate Mimi, but she's not my problem in all of this. Paris and London. These two have been so much better. I haven't really talked about them that much, because I've been a bit off-put by this over the year. London has been good and working on herself and in therapy. She still hasn't dated anyone and has a bit of an unhealthy obsession with comparing potential boyfriends now to me, my dad, and her dad. Her relationship with my uncle, who she now does call Dad, she used to call him by his first name, has improved. And she's been helping out and doing better with Brianna. Most of my knowledge of her inner doings come from Brianna, who says she's been so much better, with Bryce saying that she randomly apologizes to her and says she can't believe how much of a bitch she was. Apparently London sometimes thinks about something she did or said and gets a disgusted look on her face. London has expressed being bummed with me as she feels I prefer Paris, which is true, but she understands our relationship will take longer to mend. I'll be honest, at this point I don't have any real complaints about her or her behavior for the last year or so, but old hate dies hard and I'm waiting for her to relapse or take the mask off. Paris is down here now. She got very into being down here, I have no clue why. It's boring as hell and decided to transfer from UWM to William and Mary. It's not finalized yet and I'm not sure the details, but she's going to be in this 1,000 a month apartment near where I like to get Ritas. And that's like 1,000 per room, not for the house itself. She'll be staying with others. I think that shit's ridiculous but her parents are paying for it. Paris has been like my sidekick for a bit now and the only issues I've had with her is my reluctance to accept that she's changed or that she's not as bad as her sister was. Without that negative influence she is an amazing, caring, and attentive person. There's also a little hero worship going on and yeah, my wife's still plenty jealous of her, though they are getting a lot better right now. She was super happy my wife was pregnant, and is one of the few in my family who know. And they've been talking about all the baby stuff. Kurt and I are still cool. We're going to be hanging out when he gets back from his other mini vacation. His ex I haven't talked to since I left the design team. I know she is no longer on it. Sissy. Same old, though I'm trying to hook her up with Moana's dad who is awesome. Her kids are still at my house all the time. Clarissa. Things have improved with the HR and her sister. We're still awkward around each other a bit, she's apologized for a lot and is happy about the pending baby. Andy has been concerned that with a new baby I will stop having them around and I told him I honestly don't know, but I imagine I won't have the same free time with a kid of my own. Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad had a pregnancy scare. They don't want more kids, but apparently are still being gross and doing it all round the house like teenagers. Dad is gonna get a vasectomy. I haven't told them about the pregnancy. Siblings. Bast is Bast. He's distant and we hardly see him or hear from him. And Danny's been Danny. She's still up to her routine of doing well, dating someone stupid, having a messy breakup, getting on her feet and doing that over and over. Other Doug is marrying his trans girlfriend and it's lovely. She and Paris are super friends right now and she's been accepted into the gaggle of girls that now float around my house from time to time. Mimi, who, I guess we will call her Daisy, if you know why you nasty, I know why because of my job, what's your excuse, Paris, Amy, and the other two who I've mentioned before but aren't important enough to remember the fake names I gave them. But nah, she's awesome and is hot as duck, so kudos to other Doug. I know his mom's gonna have an issue. She's a Bible thumping zealot, but duck her, they happy. Work's been great but telling. Racist people suck. But I'm doing well. Recently had an issue with someone trying to stiff me out of like 5,000, but that got handled. Old job. Design team kicked Kurt's wife off the team. They were struggling for a little while, but they're doing better now. But they lost their headlining artist. He went off to do his own thing for more money. Their new headliners are good, but I worry a bit cause I know two of them, they aren't local. They are Ukrainian and just like some of the Ukrainian artists I work with, one in the furry community, it's a scary shit show. If there is anything else specific someone wants to know about they can ask. I'm only writing this cause I can't figure out how I want to abridge my last update about my cousin and add to it without going on a long cussing rant. So when I figure that out I will update that. Man, I live for your updates. I am very glad Paris and London are doing well and improving. This time last year I was constantly looking for your updates. I've gotten busier but I'm always glad to read your posts. I'm glad everything is working out for you and your family. thanks for the update. The only thing I have to bring up is Mimi. For the most part I refuse to see her as an AP because, to me, to be an AP you have to know that an affair is going on. To me I almost think of her as OBP, other betrayed partner, in that she took her at her word that you approved of what was going on. Now where she did cross the line was where Mimi suspected Amy was doing more than you would have agreed to and didn't stop her or come to you. But even here she did not encourage her to keep down her path but was actively discouraging her without telling you. So yeah, she crossed a line. She should have come straight to you the moment she suspected Amy didn't have your full approval, but I have a hard time pinning the AP label on her because of all that it implies. You say, infidelity isn't just the acts. It's the betrayal and deception. It's the clandestine actions you take that betray the trust of your spouse for your own gratification. How friggin' right this is. I'm glad that, finally, someone worded this as well as you did. Thanks. I hope this will give many people a reasonable answer to those who claim that what they did was only, or that it wasn't a full-blown affair or whatever. Another update a little sooner than I intended. Today was rough. I woke up to Amy crying. I immediately wondered what was wrong and if there was something wrong with the baby. I was very concerned. She was sitting on the toilet with her phone and was begging me not to leave her, so I was confused. I hate to say my heart immediately went cold. I guess I spent too much time on this Reddit cause all I could think was that I needed to prepare for something I was lied about or wasn't told before. Those things were worse than I ever thought and I was foolish to try. I went through all these negative emotions all at once and then went cold, preparing for the worst. Then I noticed her phone in her hands and I asked for it. She gave it to me and she apologized. She said she was sorry. That she ruined us. That it was never going to be over. When I looked at her phone she had been checking an email. I could tell right away what the problem was and my heart sank. An email titled, "Is this you?" with a Pornhub link. I didn't need to click on the link to know what I would see, though it was one of the tamer things she did camming with Mimi. Like one of the first videos, but someone had uploaded them all. The email was from her uncle on her dad's side, expressing his disappointment. Asking why she was doing this and if we were having money problems. There was a whole lot wondering about our expensive lifestyle or if she was forced to do this because my doodling wasn't paying the bills. Asking if she was in trouble and if they need to come get her. She ugly cried on the toilet. She just kept saying it's never going to be over. It's not going to stop. She cried and cried saying a lot of things. I felt for her. I really did. But a huge part of me was still cold. That part of me that wants to say, yeah, this is what happens. Or that's what the duck you get. I felt that bitterness rise in me. I wanted to say what did you expect? But I got control of it, or so I thought. I guess my face showed something she didn't like because she tried to get up, hysterical, begging me not to leave her. I put a hand on her shoulder and forcefully kept her on the toilet. She was in the middle of handling her bodily business. I could still smell it and she didn't seem to be thinking about that. I told her to finish up and then come talk to me. I waited for her in the bedroom and honestly couldn't think of what to say. I wanted to comfort her. I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to give her assurances. But I didn't have anything. What the duck did she expect? Just kept running through my mind. She took a long time in the bathroom, showering, then just sitting in there. A bunch of times I wanted to go get her, but I didn't. Part of me is chained down. Part of me says care, but don't care too much. This will all very likely blow up in your face. There's a voice I use to listen to more than anything else, a voice that says think about her. Think about how tough this is for her. How tough this is going to be. Think about how this will be for her as a mother. But it's hard to quiet the voice that just keeps saying what she expects. I got furious with myself when I literally asked. Like conversing with myself, I know I'm crazy, but I can't be the only one who does this. How long do I expect her to suffer, when my first thought was, forever? I was disgusted with myself, and stood up and decided that I chose to work this out. I didn't bounce when it would have been easy and justified, and no matter how justified I feel now, unless the situation changes, this is what I chose to deal with. I was going to get up and go to her, but she beat me to it. She came to me crying. She asked me what she should tell him, and without thinking I said the truth. There was a bit of hysterics and I held her and calmed her down. The truth is the only thing that she can do right now. Tell him and hope for the best. Not sure what to do with the videos on Pornhub. I mean, you put it on the net and people are gonna see it. She's calmer now. Though she keeps saying that I'm going to leave her. That people at her kids' school will recognize her later in life. That her life is over. I'm like, she's being dramatic. It's a possibility, but it's not the end of the world. I ended up having to do something I didn't really want to do. I never want to give anyone false assurances anymore. Before, I would have said she had me and I was there for her always. It was true and it just rolled off the tongue. Now I can't say that cause I don't know that. I still want to be that, but she puts doubt there. So, I don't want to say that. So instead I told her I'm still here. So she's not lost everything and we're having a kid. I told her she needs to call and talk to her uncle and let him know what's what. Either way, I'll be here when she needs me. I feel emotionally drained. That sucks. I think you can hit Pornhub with copyright claims to get them removed. Problem is, lesser sites will not honor them once they get hands on them. We're working on that. I'm doing a lot of searching again on these sites to see what I can find. Right now it's just Pornhub and Video. Which the Video one only has one vid. Hit XNXX as well, as they host a lot of this stuff. The timing of this seems suspicious. This may have been leaked by someone in your inner circle. Perhaps even her sister, who has some very obvious jealousy issues with Amy. I thought that too. But I spoke with her uncle. He didn't receive it from anyone, he was just browsing. He knows some of the stuff I do for commissions, so he thought maybe we were hurting for cash or something. She ended up telling him the whole truth, and now he's being really apologetic to me cause he thought I was being an asshole all last year, distancing myself and not wanting to deal with the family. Well, you are right. She caused this, and yes, you chose to work with / through this. I believe you handled this about as well as possible. I don't really know what else to say. I'm sorry you're in this space. It was totally that shady-ass coworker. I have never felt bad or sorry for Amy over any of this until now. I was thinking that. I just didn't want to broach the topic to her. That's going to make her fly off the deep end. I don't know what to do about it if it is him. Make a deal with that cousin you hate. You'll give him the $500, but he has to come and kick the shit out of that dude. Damn, that's just a sad man. Dude, not sure how you go about this, but in the stage of pregnancy she's in, whatever you can do to reduce her stress, do it. Rereading your earlier posts, I can't help but wonder if this is retribution from that FCK stick ex-coworker that was blackmailing her. He had access to her videos and now all of them are on P0RN sites? Does other Doug have the expertise to see where these were uploaded from? There is legislation that makes revenge porn illegal. If this is the case, time to rain hellfire on his ass. Just something to consider. Do what you have to do to take care of her and that little unfettered. Here's wishing you luck, sir. It's time for her to handle her business, and for the videos there are companies that will go to a witch hunt if you are willing to pay. The most important thing is the baby. I think you will be a great dad, but from what I've heard so far you will be the dad and the mom. Lastly, if your relationship with the kind stranger on Reddit is a stock, I am shorting it. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.